On this week with a moment with Louie, we got my brother Andrue Diddy, aka the founder of AG2G.
Aiming to put God into mainstream culture.
Okay, so what made you really start with the AG2G business?
Well, I've been doing clothing for 3 years. It's been my passion. I started playing football and I became really religious. I became a strong Christian from the football program at Morse High School. I graduated this year, but when I was going through the football program, they had ministry within the organization, and I just grew so much with my relationship with God, with Jesus Christ, because of the people around me. They were faithful.
But look, I saw you get baptized. Bro.
Yeah, I got
baptized.
Baptized. I'll tell you more about it later on. But I've been doing clothing, and as I was progressing playing football, I began to realize, football was my passion, but God had bigger plans for me. He had something bigger planned for me, and He was putting me through football so I could learn how to be more faithful to God, so I could learn how to build relationships with other people, and not only that, to persevere. I'm not going to front or anything, but throughout all of my 4 years playing at Morse High School for football, I never started. And all these people who weren't starting, they would complain and they'd quit. But I knew that it was much more bigger than just football. It was more about God.
Yeah, the trials and tribulations He puts you through.
Exactly. All that adversity, it taught me how to persevere and just to stick with something and not to give up. And that's where I really grew and I learned. Without football, without God, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So as I was doing that, and as my season was ending during my senior year, I kept doing my clothing, and I had another clothing line. I had two failed clothing lines, 2 failed businesses, and I left my other clothing line. And for 3 months, I wanted to do something about God. So I thought for 3 months, just every day I prayed, every day I became more faithful to God, and I was just praying that I would think of a great idea.
Yeah.
And all glory to God, AG2G. It's in the language already. You know what I mean? So it's just something that Christian athletes say, and I consider myself a Christian athlete. Everyone stops playing football at some point in their lives.
Yeah, football is just a step in the process.
Exactly. My career just ended in high school. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So I still consider myself a Christian athlete because I have that mindset. So athletes would say all glory to God. It's in the lingo. So I was like, during that 3 month process of thinking of a clothing line, I was like, why don't I make this into a clothing line?
Yeah.
So as soon as I thought of it, I was so scared that somebody in the world could take my idea, because if I could think of it, somebody else could think of it.
Yeah, off tops.
So as soon as I came up with the idea, I got it legally registered.
Yeah.
Like I got it copyrighted.
I remember seeing the paperwork.
Yeah, I got the
really did that.
fictitious business name. I really got it right because God had inspired me to do something great with a great idea for a clothing line, and I just wanted to get the legality so no one could take my idea.
Going to SDSU, do you see yourself ever trying to collaborate with SDSU, like AG2G, like how you do the Morris, the Lincoln?
Oh, exactly. So what I do I sell general release shirts like these. It just says AG2G, but for like schools and organizations, like for specific schools, I would put the school name, and I let them choose the Bible verse in the back, and that'd be special for the school. So far I did Morse, I did Lincoln. So far, I want to go to the rest of the community.
Before we move on, I really appreciate you starting off with that.
Thank you.
A lot of people they don't realize how big that is, starting off in your own community.
Exactly.
A lot of people try branching out to the Point Lomas, the La Joyas,
Exactly.
and you don't build that foundation in your heart. Your heart
Exactly.
is the Southeast, and that's where you got to build your foundation.
Exactly. Let me add on to that. So God planted me somewhere, and He planted a seed, and He wanted it to grow. So there are opportunities out there, and I have opportunities to do it at other schools, but there's good opportunities, and there's doing the right thing. So what I did is I said, I'm gonna wait on that. That's a great opportunity, but let me start in my community first. That's where my heart is. My heart's not in the money. But going back to SDSU, I want to do SDSU because I'm going to school there. I'm going to SDSU for entrepreneurship, specialization in entrepreneurship, business management.
You plan to get your master's?
Just my bachelor's.
Okay.
I want to go there for 4 years, and while I'm there, I'm just building relationships with people. It's just a blessing to be there. God has me there for a reason, and even though college is spiritually challenging, it's mentally challenging, physically challenging, everything that
it's hard, but it's a step in the process.
Exactly, because God took me out of my community, like, cause I'm living on campus.
Yeah.
So God took me out of there to help me open my perspective on the world. That it's just more than Southeast, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I want to grow in my community. But being there, yes, I want to make sure to let San Diego stay. I want to connect with people and just it's like a playground.
Yeah.
God placed me there, and He just wants me to do great things. At Morse High School, almost everybody had AG Judy shirt. Everyone, like every day, even to this day, even at Morse High School, I'm not going there anymore. But I hear people like, hey, every day people are wearing your shirts, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it started from last year, like how the Morse Bible Club, like 40 people had your shirts, and now it's just growing. Like so many people have your shirts.
That's love, though. That's the love that you got from your community, from you staying within your community. A lot of people branch out and they don't get that love because they're not staying true to themselves, true to their community.
Exactly, and that's what I want to do. It's more than just clothing; it's deeper than fabric. I just want to show that in our community, like we're not just like some low-income, like ghetto community. There's something great happening just with God. I mean, there's like a movement, a religious revival. So I want to, just something as simple as clothing communicates that. Just something as simple. We even have teachers wearing the clothes, showing like in public, like I believe in God, I believe in Christ. So it's just been a blessing for me to do that.
I remember for most of my high school experience, we weren't even really allowed to even talk about the religious side because it's a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? But now it's becoming a little more progressive in the fact that, you know what I mean, we're wearing shirts, we're talking about it,
exactly,
and we're really being about it. Like a lot of people just say, oh yeah, I go to church, this and that. But I feel like long as you got the love of God in your heart, you don't necessarily need to go to church all the time. It would be better to boost your spirituality, but I feel like as long as you got that love in your heart, you're gonna keep prospering.
And to be honest, I became a Christian in 8th grade, and church was great. I believe, church. We should go to church.
Yeah.
But where I really grew and where I really became religious is at school. And the thing was, when I was a freshman, and that changed from being a sophomore, is that the culture changed at Morse.
Yeah.
Where there's really a religious revival. Like people were being more open about their faith. People were willing to talk about it. It wasn't a trend because God is eternal, but it was just something special that God blessed our community with, for something to grow like that.
Yeah, the Gridiron Ministry really helped out.
Gridiron Ministry, yep, and FCA and Urban Youth Collaborative, all these ministries, we're all one church.
Yeah, it's all love.
As people. I mean, it's not a building. Church is just the people. And it's just been a blessing for that to happen. And also,
do you see do you see AG2G as like a foundation to start other things? Because you've had two failed businesses. There are times that charm you. I mean, and you're really doing it this time. Do you see this as, okay, I'm gonna have AG2G and I might start something else once this really gets to the platform I really want it to?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. That's a good one. So I feel like AG2G is not just clothing. It represents
so much.
It represents so much, like what's happening in the community. It represents what's happening with God. It represents Christianity. There's a whole much more leverage just behind it. Just not just the shirts.
It's not just
it's
four
more
letters.
than clothing.
It's more than just 4 letters. It's love. You feel me? Love is also 4 letters.
Exactly. And I believe that too. Yeah.
So
right here. Let me add on to that.
Okay.
So with AG2G, I don't want to just stick to clothing. You know what I mean? I'm doing ministry right now, actually. So this for Urban Youth Collaborative, a nonprofit organization in San Diego. They help put the Bible clubs into schools throughout San Diego, middle schools and high schools. And there's over like 100 different high schools and middle schools that have clubs in San Diego.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of legalities that go into it. And
so you're learning both the Christianity side, the spirituality, and you're learning the business side from both of it, the legality and everything that has to work together in order to get it into the schools.
Exactly, that too, yes, exactly. So with that opportunity for me to be intern at Urban Youth Collaborative, CEO Pastor Nate, it's just been a blessing to do that. And now I'm actually back at Morse.
Is that where you're currently doing some of the services?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm back at Morse, and I lead the Bible club sometimes. Last week, I gave my testimony about me being baptized.
Okay.
So that was a blessing.
Yeah, it's dope. I seen it on your IG. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was dope.
Thank you, man. Really, hold on. Let me add on.
Okay.
I was at the football game yesterday to show my support. Out of all the people who were in my class that were football players and graduated, they went on off to their colleges that they were accepted to and that they wanted to ball out at. And God had something better for me. He wanted me to still be on the field, but just in a different way.
I heard that. When time comes and I turn 21, I plan to volunteer also and get back as a coach.
Yeah, I saw you out there on the field.
Yeah, I wanted to continue, but I'm not old enough, and all the legalities that go with that.
Yes.
So on to the next one. What? How's that feel? Like that love, like because I know it gives you a type of energy.
Exactly.
It's like because just being around it and just being talking to you, we could be talking for like 5 minutes, we could be talking for an hour. But I know at the end of the day, through our conversation, I'm gonna get that love, and I'm gonna get a different perspective.
Yeah, just before the clothing, I feel like as my business, like a business is a reflection of the owner.
Okay.
So I feel like
I like that.
like AG2G is not just the clothing; it's a lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
And I just give all glory to God, like wherever I go. It's just the lifestyle I'm living. So before AG2G happened, that's just like how I was. I want to give off that good vibe. I'm not afraid to, never be ashamed to spread the gospel or praise God in public. And it's just a reflection of me. And I consider myself not just a business owner, but like an artist too.
Yeah.
It's how I communicate that message in my expression, as well as for the expression of others, and give people a platform to do it through the clothing. And this is my work of art.
Yeah, right here.
And it's just been a blessing. I can't thank God enough. All glory to God.
Can you talk about some of the people behind the scenes? Because from an outside perspective, all we really see is you as the figurehead kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when I first started this thing, I was, even to this day, I do most of the work. I was the one designing the logo.
Yeah.
I was the one manufacturing all the clothes. I even got all the machines and everything at home to make it myself. Each shirt that everyone wears is made by me.
Oh,
Literally,
it's hand pressed and everything.
Yes, everything. I do all the marketing, all the social media. I do all the delivering, everything. So I just I thank God for blessing me with the strength to do it. At this point, it's growing to a point where you can't do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So I do pray to God, you know what I mean, that
and especially with you expanding to other high schools and eventually SDSU, you gotta knock on wood because I see it. You feel me?
Yeah,
I see it.
I believe it too.
You know what I mean? You gotta speak it into existence.
Exactly.
And then so especially I feel like you expanding not only as a business but as a person, as a figure, especially in the Southeast, I feel like your team has to expand also.
Exactly. And back on the figure, influence is not what you do, it's who you are.
Yeah,
and,
like what I like, my bad. What I like to do is, what I like to say actually is through you can't control what's getting thrown at you, but you can control your reaction to everything that's thrown at you.
Exactly. So you got to make the right decision with God. Do the right thing. But going back to what you asked
about you expanding.
Oh yeah, going back to me expanding. I do have to build the right team, and I pray to God that He brings these right people into my life. That not only it's just business, it's more than that. We're doing something for God. He's the focus. He's in the center the entire time. So that's I feel like just even building a team is much different than just any other regular business. Because it's much more than clothing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
you gotta find people who are just as passionate as you also.
Exactly.
Your level is up here, and a lot of people are right here.
I need people to be at my level, and I have to set the bar and have people who's here with me and to follow me as I follow God as well. But so far, I just have some family helping me out make the shirts because the load gets pretty big sometimes. Yeah. So I can't do everything by myself. If I could, I would, but that's not possible.
It's unrealistic at this point.
Exactly.
Okay, so on to the next segment we got going. It's called Popcorn Questions. These are just questions I was just thinking about when I was thinking about you. So, Do you model your business after anybody? Do you look to anybody for inspiration, or do you idolize anybody that's into the clothing business or that has God as their foundation type thing?
So how everything turned out to be, I feel like, or I believe that I was just doing clothing, and I felt like God was calling me to do AG2G. And as I just began to just make the clothes like what I'm used to and just putting it out there, God unfolded His plan in front of my face. I didn't imagine how things would work out or how it would happen, but God kind of unfolded the plan. He said, just make the shirts. And then I was already going to Bible clubs at Morse. I was going to Bible club as a high schooler.
Yeah.
And God said, oh, why not make shirts for the Bible club? So then He inspired me to do like, wait, why can't I do this with other Bible clubs and other schools?
Yeah.
And that goes back to the idea of organization UIC, Urban Youth Collaborative, how they have Bible clubs in each churches. And now that I'm an intern there, which God blessed me with,
Yeah.
I have direct access to all these Bible clubs. Like, I'm not just a businessman popping up all these Bible clubs. I actually have a voice in the community, and I'm able to be there. And not only just sell my shirts, but grow the movement with God, because it's not about the money.
I feel that's what we're really missing. Also, like, I see a lot of these kids coming up, and they idolize people like Lil Uzi, a lot of these rappers who really don't have that education that we really tell these children to go for. Instead of we're idolizing these false prophets type thing. And then now we really have someone who's behind God, and we could actually idolize, who's actually doing something good for God and doing something good for himself and for his community. So that's three things that most people don't even incorporate to themselves.
Exactly. And I just want to humble myself so that people don't idolize me, but that I'm just pointing to God. So when people look at me, they are able to build a relationship with God, and that's
that pathway.
And that's what all glory to God is. You know what I mean? It's not me. So you could even say all glory to God.
Okay, so I know you won the award from Nick Cannon. So how do you feel about Nick Cannon?
Yeah, I met Nick Cannon. It was a blessing. I feel like he's from Southeast San Diego. Yeah, Southeast. And it's just been a blessing for him to come back to the community and to do not a business competition. He organized a whole competition with businesses, photographers, engineers, and everything from all these schools throughout San Diego Unified School District. And he organized for us to do a competition, and they had their business section. And just for him to do that, thinking about it, that's where I want to be at one point in my life. For me to come back to my community, or even if I'm always here, me to be in my community and to just organize something as big as that. And that's just a blessing. And you don't need money to do big things like that. Like that, I'm doing everything I can now without money. Just everything that God's calling me to do, because you can do all things with Christ. Yeah. And out of 24 business teams, I came in there talking about God, caught people off guard, and it's just clothing, and all these people are talking about apps or like their engineered things that they made. And I come here talking about clothing, and I ended up getting second place out of 24 teams.
But that's where that originality comes from. That's where that God's pushing you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these people are trying to do the same thing, and you see where it led them.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. So since clothing was my passion, God inspired me to do something about Him. You know what I mean? And that's what the market was missing. Yeah, when I started doing AG2G, I met other people, and I started to know more about people who are doing Christian apparel. As far as mainstream culture, society doesn't see a big Christian clothing line that people are down to rock. You know what I mean? And it's just something that the market is missing. Yeah. A clothing line that's so powerful. It's so powerful.
So since we're on the topic of Nick Cannon, so do you feel like he could do more? Because he has a huge platform, and it's like I see that he did the school. You know what I mean? He did the competition within all the schools, but it's like I feel like he could give back way more because. And I'm not trying to compare him to other people, but I feel like being on these TV shows and doing all this, he grew up down the street. You know what I mean? Yes. But I don't see him doing things like if he were to give money to the Jackie Robinson, and that'd be huge.
That'd be a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not trying to tell him where to put his money, but if I was him,
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand that. You know, we could just pray for him, pray for our community.
At the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Yeah, because some things are uncontrollable. So, what we can do is just pray, and I believe that. But what I want to do, as I progress in my career and progress in life and progress in my relationship with God, I do want to be in the community. I want to live in the community and just give back like that to.
It's America's finest city. Where else would you want to go? You feel me?
That's home right here. That's the hometown. And that's just what I want to do. And let me tell you about my idea about building a church.
Oh, okay.
So right at the Paradise Hills Community Skate Park,
Yeah.
There's a dirt lot right next to Paradise Hills, right?
Yeah.
In between. Yeah, and God blessed me with the idea to just build a church there. I feel like we're missing a big church, and I'm blessed with all these resources.
Yeah.
That we could utilize.
If you ever need help with labor, I'm right here for you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? We gotta lay that foundation. You feel
We
me?
do. It's a lot of hard work. Exactly.
Ain't nothing in life worth having is supposed to be easy.
Exactly. So I like the church. It'll be a blessing to the community. That's what the community needs. We'll have like SCPA, Zamorano, Penn, O'Farrell, Morse.
Boom,
Bell,
we right up the street. You feel me?
Bell, Fulton, Twain, Valencia, all these schools in the area. We need that big church. We can all come together. It's not any competition with other churches.
Yeah, it's just love at the end of the day.
We're all one church under God, and I feel like as I do that along my career, along the line, that'll just be a blessing to the community, like a big blessing. That's what our community needs, and all its brokenness.
Yeah.
That God is the only way.
We need unity.
Exactly.
So
Unity.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that people who are really on that stuff, doing their thing, is getting noticed. You know what I mean? We give credit where credit is due.
Exactly.
And it's like, at the end of the day, the culture around San Diego is focused on what LA is doing, what New York's doing, but not what you're doing where your heart is, it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't correlate. It doesn't help you prosper. It doesn't eventually help your city prosper.
Exactly.
So if you're not working from your heart to go do something bigger, to inspire people, because like every time I talk to you, you touch my heart. You know what I mean? Like I just want to make sure that, you know what I mean, when I do a moment with Louie, stuff like this, you know what I mean, you can feel my presence throughout everything. I just want to make sure that you can feel my love through him, through whoever I associate with. I just want to make sure everything's copacetic at the end of the day.
Let me tap in on that. And I believe that too. That's what our community needs. There's something special happening in our community. We have so many great men and women that are doing great things, and for you to highlight that, that's just a blessing. We need somebody like that to step up and shed light on these people, to show people who don't see what's happening in Southeast or in our community, that look what's happening and look what great things we could do as a community. And at the end of the day, it brings us all together in unity. So
maybe not necessarily idolize, but maybe look up to. You know what I mean? Because
inspire,
I know a lot of people that look up to you. A lot of people who look up to Dago artists, but most of the people, they look up to people who are out of town. You know what I mean? Because we don't see it directly in our face.
Exactly.
And then that's why I really appreciate what you're doing with AG2G.
You too, man.
How do you? Okay, so seeing everything, you stay so humble. You know what I mean? Who's that person that keeps you humble at the end of the day when you feel like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm the man. You feel me? Like you out here rocking your own clothing. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing.
Okay.
It's called confidence. You could be confident and be humble at the same time. Okay. I like to call it confidence.
Okay, confidence. Okay.
Confidence.
You better coin that.
Don't get it twisted. I'm a confident person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I pray for humbleness. And if I ever get out of character, I do have people accountable for me.
Yeah.
I know, like, you're accountable for me. If I ever get a line, keep me in check. You know.
I hope you tell me the same thing. Like if you see me, you catch me slipping, like, hey, Louie, you need to, you know what I mean? You need to get back on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, you ain't did an interview with me. You need to get back on it.
Exactly. So I have a covering as well. I'm blessed with great family, great friends, great brothers and sisters that are accountable for me. So that will keep me in line, and as well as God to keep me in line to remind me to stay humble.
Let's talk a little bit about what's happening in our country. So after in Vegas, how do you see gun control? Personally, I feel like we should throw a lot more restrictions. I don't know why a lot of these people don't have to have, you know what I mean, certificates and everything to have a gun. I feel like a gun is such a big thing, and to just be able to get it at like Walmart or something, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody should be safe and everybody should feel safe no matter where they're going. And to have a tragedy like that go down in Vegas, one of the biggest cities, and he could have did it at a bigger event. If he would have did it at the Mayweather fight, it would have been a catastrophe because how many people were there and what he really had on him.
So I don't believe in weapons at all.
Okay.
I don't think guns are right because killing is not right.
Yeah.
I love people, and no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah,
I feel like we have God. We don't need to use weapons or even verbal weapons against each other. We need God in our, honestly, just in our country. We just need God. You know what I mean? We could get into all that political stuff, but the solution, we could do all these laws and everything. But at the end of the day, what we need in our country is just the love for God, so we could love each other.
Yeah.
So that's at the end of the day. We can get into all that political stuff, but at the end of the day, we all just need God. We're all broken people.
All things are possible through Christ.
Exactly. So we gotta pray for Vegas as well.
Yeah, got to.
Pray for all the families.
All my prayers go out to all the friends and families of the shooting in Vegas. I know we had a couple people who were in San Diego, who are from San Diego, who were affected by the Las Vegas shooting. I just want you to know you're in our prayers, and we're gonna keep. If you need anything, just hit me, and we could get in contact. And then,
Amen.
Okay, so, like sometimes I overhear people saying like, oh, but what if he's doing it for the money? Like, personally, I know you're doing it for Christ, but what do you want to tell people who think you're doing it for the money or doing it for the wrong reason?
I feel like if you just know me, know who I am, and you get to meet me more, you know where my heart is at, as far as doing this. It's much more than just clothing. I put my all into this. I put my heart, my blood, my sweat, and my tears into what I do, and you just know by my heart of what I want to do for God. And all the money that I get for AG2G, I put it back into the business. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm so unselfish that I don't want to just sell these shirts and then buy material things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have my own jacket. I make my own gear sometimes, but all the money that goes into the business, I want to put it back. I want to use it for God, and God is entrusting me within this business with what He has blessed me as far as money, everything. And when God is able to trust me, I have to trust Him so that He could remind me, to keep my heart right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do one more segment and then we're gonna wrap this up. It's called This or That. It's just gonna be a quick little thing so we can lighten the mood.
This or that.
Yeah. So hot or cold?
Huh?
Hot or cold?
Hot or cold?
Yeah.
Hot.
Hot?
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter or jelly?
I'm more of a peanut butter.
You feel me? You gotta get that protein. Yeah, you feel me?
Get the gains.
Okay, so money or fame?
Dang. I'd rather fame, so I could use my platform, so I could do better things.
So nice car or nice house?
Nice house.
Yeah, I feel like my car, as long as it run, I don't care what it look like.
Nice house, put the family in it. You know what I mean?
Y'all know me. I had to take out my window for a minute. It is what it is. As long as you do your thing and keep prospering, you ain't never gonna lose.
I like that. That's creative.
And then, so, before we end this and wrap it up, do you want to? What do you want? What point across do you want to get to wrap up this whole interview?
To wrap up this whole interview, I just want to pray.
Okay.
Want to pray?
Yep. Let's get
it. You too, brother. I'm behind the camera. All right. Bow your head, close your eyes. Thank you, Lord, for just waking us up today, for your mercy and your grace, for just to bless us with another day. We woke up today, we're winning. And I just pray that, I just pray for our community. I pray for Louie. Pray for my brother Aaron behind the camera right now. That we're you, dear Lord, and that we're able to bring the community together in unity and just do great things for you. I pray that you just forgive our sins. Pray that you let everyone know that you love them, God, that they know that you love them, and that you remind them that you love them, and that everyone is just able to come to you. I know we're all broken people, and I just pray that people are able to open their hearts and to use this interview to show people what great things are happening, and for them to become closer to you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Man,
I was so geeked up. I just want to jump at you.
It's like,
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens, like, with us, like, just what's gonna happen. Great things gonna
like
happen.
you were saying, God got a plan. You feel me?
I got big plans.
The truth.